Hola, witches.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to October. We're going to have so much fun.
Woo. Yes, favorite month of the year.
I know. This month actually is going to be very fun, and we're going to have a lot of interesting shows and a lot of fun topics to share and to experience. This topic is Halloween or Samhain candle magic. And in the show, we're going to be talking about the different the different types of ways you can utilize this month and Samhain energy and Halloween energy for your workings. And we'll close with how to dispose of your workings. So, Miss Melissa, why don't we talk about the different Halloween, Samhain, what we can expect, and the different influences that it has to offer, and how that's important with our candle work?
Right, and most witches know, even newbie witches know that Samhain is when the veil is the thinnest, and it's also the witch New Year. We honor our ancestors, those who have passed on before us, as well as I know for myself and Michael especially, we honor the great dead, the witches in the spot. And we also, most people focus on spirit work, psychic work. A lot of people really get into their tarot readings, working with Ouija boards, pendulums, seances, things like that. So all of those energies are just booming this time of year. And it's like pretty tangible, even in my opinion. You can just feel it in the air. So those are the things we focus on during.
Right. I like that. And I did a video earlier in the week about how to anoint a candle. I shared a formula, and I'll link that somewhere around here or in the description. But it is a specific blend that channels the Samhain, the Halloween energies to really anoint and dress your candles and amplify, intensify the the Samhain work that we do. So yeah, and the most important thing to really keep in mind is it's not just people who practice magic who help us with the Samhain energy. Everyone, the mundanes, people, everyone's having parties. Everyone's, thinking of those who have passed. There's so many different cultures and so many different people, because Halloween has been such a intense part of our, history of our culture and people on a whole. They practice, they have fun, they have parties, haunted houses. All of that energy is out there this month, which helps intensify our work. It helps intensify everything that we do. And so it's something to consider when we're doing anything, that you have that much energy, that much power, that much influence at your disposal.
Yes, for sure. I think that's what makes it such an enchanting time because we have all the mundanes that are focusing their energy on the same things we are. It's one of the few times that we align so well and on the same day. you know. So that makes it just that much more intense.
Right. Well, like when you have so many people focusing on one thing, how much power that generates, and how much, if the right person tapping into that can utilize it. So that's something, again, to be aware of when you're doing your workings. Um, let's talk about, well, candle magic during this time can be anything from, ancestral work, spirit work, healing from grief, processing grief. Let's see, like New Year energies, psychic work. I'm looking at my notes, y'all. It's over here. So, yeah, let's talk about ancestral magic. Let's talk about how we can utilize candle work with ancestors.
Oh yeah, you know, and I did a video a while back talking about 7 day candles, and one of the things I talked about was using a 7 day candle and printing out pictures of those of your relatives that have passed on, kind of making a little collage and printing it out and putting it around that 7 day candle, and that's how I honor my ancestors, and sort of infuse it with their energy, their spirit, and make it like a devotional type candle. And like, you know, depending on who I'm feeling at the time, sometimes I will add things like one of my grandmothers that passed away. She was big on peppermints. Oh my gosh, she just loved peppermint. And so I'll add a little bit of peppermint oil to that candle to connect to her, you know. And of course, like on my ancestor altar, I have like peppermints everywhere and stuff like that in her little spot, you know, on the altar. So, yeah, that is a great way to really connect those who passed on, to honor them. I have another grandmother who smelled like lavender all the time. And because it's such a big candle and it burns down, I'll add a little, you know, lavender the next day for her. You know, plus peppermint and lavender smell pretty good too. But I will add a little lavender in remembrance of her, and I usually have lavender things on my altar and stuff, and you can really connect with those who passed on to me. It just brings their spirit that much closer than it already is at this time of year.
Right. Another way that you can do that is take your candle, and if you have the blessing, the luxury of being able to visit the cemetery, where the ancestor that you're honoring resides, at least physically, sort of. You can take like the dirt, you know, grave dirt, and you know, with their blessing, take it home and take your candle, place it on your altar, and take the dirt and surround the candle in a circle with that dirt, to really honor them, to give them that place of recognition and help to bring them a little more physically present in your experience. You can, and if you don't have ancestors that you really work with, like who were related to you, again, there's the witches of the Sabbat. There's the mighty spirits, I guess you can say. And you can honor them, and you can that is fairly easy. Just take those, like if you want to do Marie Laveau, if you do Tituba, or you know, other people of influence that you know of, or even those you don't know of. Take representations that you intuitively feel called to put on your, you know, sacred space, and place it there, and take a candle to represent them and give them their honor, give them their place, and meditate daily. And that's what I do. Is like I'll go to my altar, and I'll start on the 1st of October, and I'll light a candle up, and I will meditate, and I will contemplate, and I will think, and I will give honor, and I will give praise to all it took to get us as a whole where we are today, and then all it's going to take to be better, to get to a better place. And as the candle burns down, I will take that, you know, and light another candle and keep it going throughout the entire month. And that's my way of honoring the sacred dead, the witches of importance, those who have come before us, and those who will come after. And that's kind of my way of connecting, remembering, giving thanks, giving respect, and just being a part of the entire process.
Right, exactly. And you know, I really enjoy doing that, especially I think a lot of some people aren't really aware of how easy it is to transfer energy from one candle to the next. If you have a candle, even if you're using, let's say you just have a lot of small votives, as long as you light the next candle and transfer it and that energy to the new candle, you're fine. And you know, if you don't work with blood related ancestors, and you do work with more of the famous witches that have passed on, like Marie Laveau, you can still personalize that candle very much to her, even though you don't have, say, you know, her favorite stuff next to you. I mean, most people know that she did work with snakes, and if you have some snake shed and graveyard dirt, any graveyard dirt really, if you happen to have been to New Orleans and seen one of her many supposed resting places, and happen to get some dirt from there, that would be great. And things like that, you know, things that you know to be true about her, and mix that in an herbal blend, and you know, rub it on the candle, and you know, engrave her name around the candle, things like that, anything like that, and that can really connect you to that spirit. So, granted, make sure this is someone you work with and not just someone you want to honor. I mean, you can honor them; that's okay, but I wouldn't call any spirit you haven't ever worked with to you, especially this time of year.
Right, just because it's so intense.
You're likely to get an answer.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's important to very be respectful, be mindful, and just take this time to honor the struggles, honor the highlights of our experiences, and to remember where we come from, who we are, what we are, and that we are strong.
Right.
And that's kind of like the message that has processed through our entire experience, is we are strong, we are willful, and we're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
So we've talked a little bit about ancestral work. Let's go into like psychic work. Because psychic work and spirit work is it ties into ancestral work. So let's just combine those and talk a little more about spirit work and psychic stuff.
Yes, this is a great time to really work on your psychic development because the veil is thinner. So it is a lot less challenging, you know, much easier to connect with, you know, psychic abilities, things that rest beyond the veil. So if you are suffering from like psychic blockages, black candles, and y'all, you can find them everywhere right now. Stock up. I know I do, especially the unscented black candles. But black candles, you know, if you want to banish any of your negative aspects towards psychic development, you know, a lot of people are very kind of scared to really connect to spirits, which is understandable. They can be kind of freaky sometimes. And, you know, any kind of negative aspects that you feel are holding you back from reaching your true psychic potential, now is a great time to get rid of those and really try to connect. So you can work with candles as far as banishing negativity. You could also work with spiritual candles. I like to work with purple candles whenever I'm working on my psychic development, spirituality, and stuff. I don't know why. I love purple anyway. But anyway, so you can, you know, create a candle, anoint it with what you know, herbs and oils you want to anoint it with to boost psychic development, and use that as a devotional candle every day to help open your third eye, open your chakras, throat, you know, for communication, your solar plexus, your crown, and really help it open you up to you know, work on that psychic development. And after you know, work with that devotional candle that day, then go on into a psychic training exercise. You know, and you know you're ready, you're open, you're ready to receive. But that is a lot of fun.
I like that very much. And you know, you could kind of simmer some oil with like mugwort, wormwood, and my favorite, y'all, black obsidian, and create that blend, and that will help with psychic working. That will help a lot with psychic working. And you know, you can take a white candle, really, because white is associated with, you know, sort of like going deeper and higher and uplifting, rising from those challenges, rising from your limiting beliefs. And it's also associated with the crown chakra, which connects us with higher guides, higher energies, which is sometimes necessary before you start working with other entities, other beings, because this is easier sometimes for people. And it's so easy right now to connect with your psychic centers because everyone has that belief, has that energy going where this is the time of year where everyone can be psychic, intuitive, they're going to share ghost stories, they're going to be in that state of awareness where it's not necessarily taboo. And you don't have people thinking, you don't have that skeptical energy blocking you, because so many people want to experience what we experience on the daily, but they want to experience that this month. And so you don't have all of these belief patterns, this energy going against you. So that's why it's really great to take this time to progress in your psychic work, progress in your spirit work. And it's just a powerful thing to do. You can take your candles and have it associated with a certain blockage. Like if you really have a hard time seeing, your clairvoyance, your clear seeing is off, and you know that, take a candle that represents that, and anoint it with an oil, the oil that I shared in my previous video. Do that and charge it. Put your power, put your influence, put your intent into it, and speak to it. Program it for what you need it for and what you want, and allow that. You could actually use a black candle to banish all that bullshit. Banish and get rid of all of the belief patterns, the programming, that shit that no longer serves you, to banish it away, so that you can step into your full powers, for your full awareness and your being. So that will help you clear out any blockages that you have. And they have those candles. I'm like doing this because they're like rainbow candles, or like the chakra candles. They have the different colors.
Oh yes, I love those.
You could take a black candle and utilize that to sort of banish, but also have the other candle to help align it up, where that's what you're banishing. You're banishing the bad, the negative programming that prevents you from stepping into your full awareness. So you can take those and kind of put them side by side, and as they burn, the black is banishing each chakra challenge.
Right, yes, totally. And if you have a skull candle, I have not been able to find any like just singular skull candles. But if you have a skull candle, that is a great way to work with your own thoughts, your own hang-ups, and also program to open yourself up to seeing better, to hearing better, just depending on what area of the brain, of the mind, I've got him over here.
Absolutely.
Yes, depending on what area of the head you need to work on. If you need to work on, your third eye or whatever, you can anoint pretend this is a candle, this area with an opening blend of some sort, and burn that candle, and put sigils around the head, or even, you can even, if the candle is big enough, or if you're talented enough, write down, I want to open this area of my mind, or whatever, on the candle, or put a petition paper underneath the candle, and as the candle burns, that is being brought forth. So, and if you feel like, you're not hearing, seeing, whatever area of the brain, of the head, that you feel like isn't open enough, you can focus all of your attention on that. And you can even drill holes into the candle in certain places, and roll up a petition paper and stick it in there, declare or put that thought process in your mind or whatever you need to do.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, I was speaking to Nadia the other day about stuff like that, and she had said something about it. I'm like, oh yes, yes, it's brilliant. But you can drill holes into the candle and either stick paper in there to petition paper, roll it up, and stick it in there to plant that thought that you need to open yourself up, and or you can drill holes to release shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, blocking you. So that can work either way.
I like it. I like it, like it. And just to sort of express a little bit more, start October, start at the beginning of the month with banishing. Start
Okay.
it releasing all of the things that you know you want to work on, because we know that this time of year is very psychic, it's very intuitive, it's very connected with the underworld, the dead energies, the very internal shit. So you know where you are blocked, you know what you don't want to face, but you know what you need to face. So start this month with banishing that. And each day, as we progress to actual Samhain, Halloween, start to do working to bring to you what you desire. So as you're releasing shit, as you're getting rid of the toxicity and the stuff that no longer serves you, you are also progressing throughout the month, and you're then working to bring what you need, bring what you desire. So get rid of the limited thought patterns and the negative programming. Release what holds you back. I can no longer see shit. Well, guess what? I'm releasing that. And then as we progress through the month, I actually have great sight. I can see things clearly. I can see through bullshit. I see. I do see. And so you start to step out of that form of disempowerment, and then you step into this being, this energy, this experience of being empowered and knowing your shit and being who you are.
Right, exactly. That is brilliant. Yes, I love that. And there's just so many options, y'all. Really use your creativity here, and to channel those energies to work with your psychic development and spirit work, so that you have so many ways to do that. And also, it is the new year for witches. So, and this really goes along with psychic development and spiritual work, because if you want to set that as a goal, as in this is what I'm going to work on this year, I'm going to release all of this that's holding me back, and channel and bring forth and attract all this that I want to accomplish with my psychic development in the new year. And so all of that work, like Michael suggested, if you start at the beginning of October, and as you get closer to Halloween, to the Witch's New Year, you will have that, footwork in. You'll have that footwork in to really embrace those goals.
Yes, I like that. I absolutely like that. And because the awareness here of this month is so in tune with the cosmic soul, the cosmic expression, we are able to manifest and bring things a little more intently, a little more importantly, because everyone is kind of on the same page. So we don't have that hindrance of all these thought patterns working against us. So we have to take into consideration what we want. What do we want to bring into our life? This is our new year. This is our new experience. This is where we intensify the growth of the coming year. This is where we decide what we are going to lay to rest, what we are going to honor, and then what we're going to expand upon. So that's very important. That's what we need to really, we need to be more aware and conscious of what we are doing and how we are doing it and what we want to bring. We can't be lazy. We have to be very active. And so, again, new year, new energies, bring the new shit as we release the old shit.
Right, exactly. And you know what would be real to me? It's a lot of fun, and I think this is what I'm going to do this Witchy New Year actually. Is take a black 7-day candle and a white 7-day candle. On the black 7-day candle, I'm going to write down everything, like a pretty good detailed list, everything I want to release, everything I want to get out, everything the habits that I feel hinder my progression as a witch, and burn that coming to the new year, probably the last week of October, and you can take a white 7-day candle and write everything you want to bring into your new year, everything you want to accomplish, all the goals you want to set, and obviously be realistic, and set goals not just that you can accomplish, but is feasible to accomplish. Like, I'm not going to set a goal that I'm going to be a world famous witch by the end of the year. You can. You totally can, but I want to focus on things that I feel like I can bring to fruition, and I think it's going to take a little bit longer than a year for me to accomplish, world infamy. So, and that's a wonderful way to channel those New Year energies, is to decide what you want in your life and what you want to get rid of, and focus on those for the last week of the new year. Or, of October, rather.
Yeah, I like that. So we have New Year, new energies. Let's talk a little bit about, like, different figural candles. Like, obviously, we have skulls.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, a lot of people have the Day of the Dead, skull figures and stuff.
Yes, I love these. I found these at TJ Maxx, and they're just so adorable because you can do so much with these. Speaking of New Year vibes, if you have specific goals for you and your partner, these candles will be great. You can use these, anoint them with oils and herbs to attract those energies. Set them on top of a petition paper. You can set them, to get facing together. You can even set them this way so you both have each other's backs.
Right, and have that, like, the little bit of mystery in your experience,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and pull that, pull those energies in, and that would be a wonderful way to connect to the to New Year's energies and help with relationships. And if you'd rather use them for ancestral work, especially, let's say you work with, like, both your grandparents have passed away, and you can use these as representations for them. And the fact that their facial thing is a Day of the Dead skull is really helps with that energy.
Right.
And if you even want to house their spirit, which you make sure is okay with Grandma and Grandpa before you do that, but house their spirit and candles like that, and work with them that way. That would be really a really great way to do that as well.
So. Yeah, and
goddess and God work too, by the way. Sorry. But yeah, deity work.
Yes, absolutely. I don't have. It has been a challenge here, at least, to find actual skull candles, especially the ones that bleed. I haven't found any.
I'm not seeing any of the ones that bleed. That's really disappointing.
No, I know. But what you really can do with that is, like, just channel the Halloween and Samhain energies, the influences, and place it, like, the spirit of this time, and place it into the skull. I'm just going to use a crystal right now because I don't have a candle, but place it into the skull candle and honor it. Utilize it to honor mediumship. Utilize it to honor the spirit connection, and burn it to be in that state, to help trance, to help see between, to help step into the in between. You can utilize that, and then before it finishes burning out, what you do is you transfer that energy to another candle by lighting it with that candle and pouring that energy into the next candle, so you keep it moving, keep it intensifying as your year progresses, and you have that specific candle that is perfect to work with the Samhain representation.
Right, exactly. And I have, I won't tell you what Michael calls these. Y'all can figure it out. But it's a set of skulls stacked on top of each other. And for me, I grabbed them because I have, for a specific deity altar that I have going on. So, but because of this time of year, especially with a specific deity, these are great candles to really connect and explore that aspect, that connection with deity, especially if you have kind of a new relationship like I do with a certain deity. You can really, this time of year, explore that connection, find out exactly what that relationship is about, and candles like that can really, really help.
Right.
No, because they channel that, what you see in that deity, a certain representation, what that deity enjoys, or a certain representation of that deity. So you can really work with that as far as it's kind of an offering, but also a connection.
Well, the interesting thing about your anal beads, well, the skulls. Okay, so the thing that you can do is, they have different skulls. You
Mhm.
start at the surface, so as it burns down, you get to the core, and that's very powerful depending on the type of work you want to do. Like if you're at surface material or surface experiences, and you want to get deeper. Oh, this is all going to sound wrong, but you want to go deeper. You want to get to that core experience. You want to create that very sturdy foundation. You can use those candles, each skull programmed to your final goal. So as it burns down, it releases the surface. You break through barriers. You break through layers and layers and layers of bullshit. You can use like a road opening, with those candles. And as it gets down to the bottom, it's like, wow, there it is. You are there, and that can be for emotional healing.
Mhm.
Especially during this time, we transition and we work through a lot of harsh things. So we can use that for healing, and you can use it for ancestral healing too, like to heal deep-rooted programming. So you get rid of all those layers and layers and layers, and then you release everything, and then you bring in healing, you bring in positive work, you bring in that loving essence and that unconditional experience. So that's perfect for those types of candles.
Yeah, and also with the skull anal bead things, you can also, um, this great psychic work. Each one, especially since it is a black candle, and you already have the skulls here. And if you want to remove third eye block, hearing, sight, whatever, and as each one burns, that releases a specific blockage that you have.
Right, right. I like that. That's good. Okay, so now let's sort of finish this up and let's talk about disposal, which is super easy. Disposal. A lot of people don't really know how to dispose of their items. They just toss it, which is not necessarily a good thing. Before you toss things, before you send things to the garbage, you want to take the energy that you put into it, because you're not just putting your own energy. You're taking energies and you're putting things into your working. So you take that energy just by holding the items in your hand if you can, or just putting your hands over it. This is how I do it. And pulling it out and placing it elsewhere. If you want to take it and form it into like a sphere, and then like place it back into you or ground it out, do
Mhm.
that. One thing you can also do is like take the the, the items and put a grounding tube on it, and then send that grounding tube to the center of Earth, and then see the energy being transferred back to the center of Earth, and so it can be transformed and utilized in its best way possible.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can also, put it under running water. Running water like nullifies everything, and it also sends it back into the earth or into stream, like where it can be dispersed and dissolved. And you can bury it. And y'all, even if you don't have a yard, bury it in your potted plants in your house. Obviously, if it's like this huge mess, you're not gonna be able to bury that in a small pot. But, you know I have at least 4 or 5 huge plants in my house that I could bury in if I didn't have a yard accessible. Spirit candles, if you are channeling a spirit and placing a spirit into a candle, please release that spirit before you ditch the candle. Or that spirit might be pissy with you.
Absolutely.
But release the spirit, and you can bury it at a crossroads. You can bury it in a graveyard. If it's especially if it's an ancestor that you are blood related to, and you have channeled their spirit into a candle to work with them better, and you release their spirit. It's a great way to, even if there's any little remnants, you can make sure they go back to them by burying it on their cemetery plot. So there's a lot of ways to get rid of, but even if you don't have access to any of those things, you live in a concrete jungle and you can't bury anything, then, like Michael said, release the energy into the ground it. Ground that energy from the candle into the earth with your mind, and then you can dispose of it, then toss it once you know that energy is grounded.
Absolutely, I like that. And that is Halloween Samhain candle magic, at its finest. Look, during the week we're going to release a blog post with maybe different spell ideas for what we've covered. Just a little more in depth, little pictures of different candles and what you can work with them, or how you can.
And I have an herbal blend too. I can't remember if I mentioned that, but along with Michael's oil blend, I'll have an herbal blend video as well.
So watch out, y'all. We're going to have fun this month. And if you have any questions, if you have any ideas, anything you'd like to share with us, please definitely comment below. If you don't want to comment, you can find us and message us, message our pages, and we will be happy to communicate with you. But until next time, y'all, peace.
Bye-bye.